Tonight, guys, we're going to talk about something I saw a long time ago, a lizard man or a lizard being. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Mr. Lights Out, and I got a story for you guys. If you enjoy stuff like this, content like this, which is the funny, scary, that I'd say, uh, like, share, subscribe, and I'll make a bunch of more of these videos. Okay, now on to our story. Now, I'm 57 years old, and this was a long, long time ago. I'd say I was like 10 years old here in the Philippines. Now, I was at my grandfather's house, grandfather and grandmother's house here in our small town. And I loved going over there during the weekends because, grandmas and grandpas, they always have a lot of food, a lot of candy, a lot of stuff like that we never had at home. Uh, I was just, I just remember it was such a fun time going down there. Every like Saturday afternoon, we'd be there, and sometimes we'd spend the night. But since we were so close, it was only like a 10-15 minute tricycle ride from where we lived at. We'd go home and then maybe come back on the Sunday after church. That was a lot of fun. Since I was a uh, since I was a only child, I'd like going to my cousins there. Anyway, I was like 10 years old, and the location of Lolo and Lola, grandpa and grandma's house, was actually right in the middle of town because our ancestors were the few of the settlers that actually were there in the beginning of the town, which was a long time ago. I think our town was established in 1500s, like that. That's a long time ago. Anyway, they lived almost at the center of town because any town here in the Philippines, the center of town is either the church or the market. And they were a little bit closer to the market because the church had really big houses, really big old Spanish owners there. So they were still actually in the middle of town. And since I said that the church was maybe like 1 or 2 kilometers away, and the public market is just behind it, this location where my Lolo and Lola had their house was actually the old cemetery. That's crazy, man. And it's just a small area, and it's already enclosed by commercial buildings, but there's still that real small village. And there's a funeral parlor at the entrance, which goes way back also, because it used to be the cemetery. Anyway, uh, one night, okay, usually my Lola, we would bug our Lola, grandma, to tell us scary stories during the nighttime. And back then, there was electricity already when I was younger. But she said, there's a guava tree right there. And she just pointed, it's just downstairs from our house on the other property. And she said, that's a real old guava tree. Now, she said, one of her stories, right? Because she went through, actually, my mom and her went through World War II. And she said that there was a Japanese soldier that would sleep under that guava tree. And then when he would curl around that guava tree, uh, he would turn into a giant hog. That was one of her stories. Now, is that crazy or what? I heard that story multiple times. said it was a Japanese imperial soldier. He was in full battle garb, has his canteen. He had a sword. He had a pistol, a gun, and he was wearing one of those caps that had a cover on the side and the back. It was all khaki green or khaki color, right? And he said he looked ugly. Right? He looked like I had hair, facial hair, a lot of facial hair, even though he was a Japanese national. He had a lot of facial hair, and he would just curl his body around that the trunk of that guava tree, and then he would turn into a hog, and then he would just walk around the small village, snorting like that. That was her story. So, of course, it was me. I was the eldest in the group. I was 10 years old, and I had two other cousins that lived there, uh, two girls, and I think I was like 2 or 3 years older than them. And another cousin of mine, which was a guy, and he was like, I'd say 2 or 3 years younger than me also. So I decided to get a candle. Because there was no street lights back then. And actually, they only had a small bulb. It was a thick, I think it was a 3 watt bulb or 10 watt bulb. I don't know. But it was one of those old bulbs, right? That was colored kind of amber, dark amber color. So that was enough light to see the downstairs. Now, so I grabbed the candle. I grabbed the candle and I said, "Hey, guys, let's go downstairs and check out the guava tree. Check out the guava tree." And of course, I was the eldest, and my cousin said, "Yeah, yeah, let's do that. Let's just go check it out." So we went downstairs. I had my candle, and I was ahead of the group. I had a candle. So we went downstairs, then turned to right, and the guava tree is just right there. Now, this is the thing about that guava tree. The guava tree is there. I had a candle in hand, and uh, we just stood there. When we got closer, we stood there, and then suddenly, it didn't appear, but it was already there. Now, this is crazy. It was something like a cross between a man and a giant lizard. And it was on its belly on the tree. So we could basically see it, three, four of us right there in front of the tree, not 4 feet away. And it was just right there in front of us. It was just like that. It wasn't looking at us, it was just looking towards our left. And it was long. But the thing is, I can't remember any part of the lower body. I I figured it was a giant lizard, but I didn't see the whole tail. What I'm saying, I saw the legs, the hind legs, front legs, and the head, and but not the tail. But it was reddish because I had the candle, but I could tell. You know how things reflect from candlelight? It's kind of orange or amber, but this was red. I could see it through the real light foliage of the guava tree, and we just stood there. It was like we were hypnotized. I know we were there for a while. I know we just stood there for like, I want to say 4 or 5 minutes, not moving. I don't think we were shocked, but I think we were just hypnotized in looking at it. There was no fear, And we weren't joking around about it. We just stood there and looked at it, and it didn't move. But there was some kind of real low hissing sound, and it was just lying there, not moving. It didn't move an inch. It did not move an inch. And my Lola, my grandma, was just upstairs on the second floor of the small house. I think she called out, said, "Hey kids, come back upstairs." And it was just like a snap, like, okay, grandma's calling us. And then we went upstairs again, still had my candle, but nobody, none of us told her what we saw. None of us. Uh, so that was like a long time ago. I recently saw or met up with my cousin, the eldest girl in the group, and I did ask her about it. I said, "Did you remember that time when?" And the way she came across was, "I don't remember anything about that." You could tell that she remembered, but she just didn't want to talk about it, or just blanked it out from her mind. I was never able to ask my other cousins about what happened or what we saw, what we witnessed during that night. Never did. Now, this is the thing about that, though. I was younger when I saw that. I was like 10 years old. And then fast forward to the future, I never knew of any lizard man or lizard being in anything. Like, that was a blank to me. I thought it was just us and what we witnessed. But throughout the years, especially during the time of the internet, I mean, these things are, other people have stories about it and it's being recognized. There's actually channels about lizard people. You know, one of them is Kininigan. I think, and I watched a few videos of Kininigan, and it's very interesting. I didn't know they existed. I thought we were just hypnotized and it was a dream and something. Why did it show itself to us? I always thought about that. I always wondered about that. I heard they abduct people. I heard they're aliens. I heard that they're old people of the earth. I heard that they were an advanced civilization. I heard they live underneath, in caves in the earth, which is really crazy. Uh, I've heard a lot of things. I've watched a lot of things about them. Supposedly who they are, but the only time I witnessed this was when I was 10 years old. I always wondered about this, and it's really crazy to me for something that I didn't know existed, and we kept it with us in our minds throughout the years, and eventually, at my age now, 57, there are people that report having seen it, have channels knowing about it. I don't know if it's conspiracy or not. People are talking about it. People know about it. Seems that's just kind of crazy to me, guys. What do you guys think? I did make a picture of it, you know, and I'll put it right there. Let me just move over so you guys can see the picture of what I saw. It's my rendition of it, right there. What do you guys think? It was lying on its stomach, not in that form, but basically, that's what it was. That's what it was, guys. I don't like swearing, but I am telling the truth. I am telling the truth, guys. That's what it looked like. Uh, Subscribe, guys. I'll make more. Thanks. Peace out. Peace out.